The real estate transaction can be scary. Let me tell you about some of the title nightmares that we can protect you from. The best way for me to describe title nightmares is to give you real-world examples. Here are 3 most common title nightmares. Your ownership of your property is defined by your deed. But what if that deed were invalid? Let's travel back 30 years. A mother has deeded a property to her son. The deed was signed with an X and 2 witnesses, but was not notarized, and that deed was filed in the public records. Fast forward 30 years, and that son is now trying to sell that property, not realizing that he does not have clear title to the property. Because the deed is invalid, the property reverts back to the original deed to the mother. The mother is passed away. The deed will now be devised to her 3 heirs, which is the son and his 2 sisters. His 1 sister has also passed away, so her 3rd passes on to her heirs. So now you have 6 people involved in the sale of this property. In order to sell the property, the son would have to have all 6 people agree to deed the property to him. Because he did not purchase title insurance at the time the deed was signed by his mother, he would be incurring all costs associated with that deed. Unfortunately, not everybody agreed to deed that property to him, and he was unable to sell the property. This is just one of many examples as to why title insurance protects your ownership. Another example of a title nightmare are liens and mortgages. There are many liens and judgments that are all governed by the state of Florida and Florida statute. One of the most common liens that we see are code enforcement liens. So what is a code enforcement lien? Well, if the county is patrolling the area and they see a home has not mowed its grass in months or weeks and the grass is 3 feet tall, they may lien the property. That's called a code enforcement lien. Code enforcement liens are unique. The one thing about this type of lien is the lien itself may be specific to a property, but per Florida statute, that lien encumbers all properties that are owned by that individual. On the mortgage side, if you pay off a mortgage and a satisfaction of that mortgage has not been filed in the public records, that mortgage still stands against your property. It is our job as title agents to make sure and clear that mortgage lien in order to close on time. This is just another example of title nightmares that we protect you from. There are a multitude of title nightmares that can be on a property. But the last example I would like to go over are encroachments and survey issues. A lot of people don't know, but title insurance actually insures the land. Having a home on that land places more value on your property, but the title insurance itself insures the land. One of the requirements for closing is a survey. We hire a licensed surveyor to go out to the property, and what they do is they map out the property and any improvements that have been placed on that property, such as a house or a shed or a pool. Once that survey is complete, we review it for encroachments or anything that is appearing on the property that shouldn't be. For example, a survey may show that the neighbor's fence is encroaching onto the property you're purchasing. That survey will show us exactly where the encroachment is so that we could disclose that to you. At that point, you would either accept it or we would have you work with your realtor and the seller to correct it. If we did not do this prior to closing, it could potentially be a title nightmare and or loss in the future. Our goal is to make sure that this process is as seamless as possible for you. It is our job to avoid any and all title nightmares so that your dream home can become a reality. If you have any additional questions, make sure you contact Aero Title Services, your team behind the scene, at 772-888-9120. We're looking forward to taking your closing in the right direction.